Well, it's been a very interesting week for Starcitizen, with Citizencon this just past Saturday and the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo starting on Sunday, opening up with Anvil Aerospace. There is a ton of things to talk about. But before we get started with Citizencon, let's quickly jump over to the website with an update that I think is going to be pretty useful for new players. Obviously, Star Citizen is a fairly complex game already, and there's a fairly steep learning curve, which to new players could easily put them off joining. Now, obviously, we're still in alpha, not everything has been finalised yet, and not everything has been added to the game yet. But as development progresses, I fully expect that learning curve will become an awful lot steeper. Now, CIG are obviously aware of this and have decided to implement what they're calling the new Welcome Hub. This new Welcome Hub will allow players to become acquainted with the complexities of Star Citizen by watching, playing, and reading. Reading is obviously fairly self-explanatory. Watching is obviously going to be video content, but play is something new and involves requesting a guide from volunteers within the community who will take new players under their wing and help show them the ropes, develop their skills in a specific area, and most likely make a new friend as well. I think this is great, and well done, CIG. Sunday saw the launch of the 2949 Intergalactic Aerospace Expo at the Brevik Convention Centre in Area 18. Lots of ships to get up close and personal with. You can rent many of them. Currently the skies above Area 18 are rammed full of reclaimers. It's Aegis Day today, so unfortunately I did pop down earlier on, and there's no Idris on display. I mean, obviously we're not going to be able to look around inside it, but it would have been nice to have it there just for its presence, you know? But anyway. So, on to Citizencon, which was on Saturday. Lots of lovely presentations and sneak previews. We've got some information on future development schedules, information on a new ship, the Argo Mole, which is billed as a medium-sized multi-crew mining platform that kind of falls in between the Orion and the Prospector, and it's very orange and releasing in a couple of weeks' time. But I actually want to focus on a couple of things that for me kind of stood out above everything else at Citizencon. Planettech version 4 is very exciting. It adds a great deal of improvements, great many improvements over the version 3 for Planettech. There's lots of really cool and interesting stuff that they're cramming into version 4, with shading, greater variety of biomes and better blending between biomes, object scattering based on climate data and presets which can be filtered and fed into the system, physics-based terrains and collision maps that are generated by client and server on the fly as you're kind of moving through those environments. Frozen oceans are physicalized, huge workflow improvements, and a whole host of other things, and optimizations to the way that they are able to create and generate planets within the Star Citizen universe. A testament to that is the fact that they were able to completely redo every single planet and moon within 2 months, which is quite astounding, really. So yeah, Planettech version 4 is something that I'm very much looking forward to. The variety of planets that we've got, the way that they're created, the way that they're able to generate those much more efficiently, kind of gives us a lot of hope that we may actually be able to hit that 100 system, or at least try and may even get close to that 100 system target for release. We'll see what happens there. But you know, Planettech version 4 looks really, really exciting. The sneak previews and stuff that we've got, obviously the demo where we saw the integrated weather systems for the mission that they did during the keynote. All of this looks very exciting. So yeah, very much looking forward to Planettech version 4, which is hopefully shipping in Alpha 3.8 in a couple of weeks. So the next thing that I want to talk about is the Quantum System Simulator, which was presented by Tony Z. Now this is really, really exciting stuff. This basically allows us to have a living and breathing economy that reacts and is not entirely dependent on being fudged, if you like. It's a system that can adapt and change based on what we're doing, and what NPCs are doing within the verse. The old system is kind of set up in a way that you had kind of bubbles of probability, and within those bubbles of probability there were a series of missions that could trigger, or a certain set of scenarios that would trigger within that variable, within that bubble. This is much more kind of living and breathing. They demonstrated a system, using Stanton, where they were able to simulate a load of quanta being injected into the system. They added various resources, such as a mine, and then a refinery, and then NPCs kind of reacted to that. Trade routes grew with supply and demand that was actually happening in real time. As a result of that, pirates moved into the area and started setting up their QED traps along trade routes, and as a result of that, you could then have security brought into the system that would react to the pirates, and then as traders were moving between those routes and getting picked off by the pirates, then missions were generated based on the fact that the pirates had shot up some ships and there were people stranded and needed to lift back. That generated missions for people to come there. It's just absolutely astounding. I mean, you could actually probably make a whole game out of it on its own, just that tech there. But yeah, really, really impressive stuff there. Groundbreaking stuff, kind of changes the rules completely for how missions will be generated, and how we'll interact with the economy, and how the economy will interact with us as a player base. This is all really exciting stuff. I'm very, very much looking forward to seeing how this can be brought into the game and how we're going to get to react with it. It's going to be, it's super exciting stuff. And so on to the Anvil Kerik, or the Anvil Marmite as it's probably going to be known. You either love it or you hate it, and I am in the I love it camp. Not really so much the ship itself, I'm kind of more in love with the idea of the ship. Being an explorer at heart, the idea of zooming around the universe and landing on a planet that no one's ever been on before, and exploring caves and kind of all the stuff that was in the Anvil Kerik advertisement, I guess. But yeah, the Kerik for me is what I'm aiming for as a ship. Having a little rover that I can zoop about on planets, and explore strange new places, and having my own little, not really snub fighter, but my own little kind of dedicated scout vessel, the Pisces, which looks pretty awesome, by the way. I'll probably do a review on that. The Kerik, it's not quite the same as the concept that they gave us a little while ago. The designs look a little different. It's a little kind of, shall we say, stubbier than it was originally, but I don't think it's lost anything for it. I still think it's got all of the character that kind of made it what it is. And it just, to me, it just looks gorgeous, and I really like the layout and what they've done with the ship. I don't really see too much of a distraction, or too much of a detraction rather, from their original design concept. So yeah, I will definitely be getting my hands on a Kerik. Let me know what you think. Did they mess up the design, cock it up completely? Do you prefer the old one to the new one, vice versa? Let me know why. But yeah, really liking the look of the Kerik and can't wait to get my hands on it. And finally, my last big thing that I took away from Citizencon 2949 is the new system that we got a glimpse of, Pyro, which was shown in the last part of the keynote by Mr. Roberts himself, where the Anvil Kerik jumped through a jump gate, or rather a wormhole, but with a stabilizing ring around it, into a new system, and then we got a glimpse of that system on the other side, Pyro, and it looks very, very different to Stanton. There's obviously an entirely different star at the center of that. It's a variable star that's kicking out tons and tons of radiation. It's flaring up and is causing havoc within the system, so it's going to be a very, very different place to be than than Stanton. Really, really looking forward to this a lot. Being able to explore this system, being able to get in there and have it feel. It reminds me very much of Freelancer, the way that you could go to some of the jump gates that were in gas clouds and stuff like that. So that, yeah, that whole feel was one of the coolest things about Freelancer for me, was the different kind of the setup for each kind of different part of space. Kusari space was very kind of open and similar to Liberty space in that way, and then you had Bretonia space, which was all kind of gloomy and bleak and red and foggy and industrial. It kind of felt like that. And then and I think that's what we're going to get here as well. Each different bit of space is going to feel different. It's going to have its own unique kind of ambiance about it, and so that's something I'm really looking forward to. Pyro system hopefully will, I doubt it's going to be coming in 3.8. It probably will have to wait till at least maybe version 2 of server-side OCS. I don't know. We'll see what happens. They may surprise us, they may not, but I'm kind of thinking kind of middle of quarter 2 2020 maybe, before we actually get a system that we can jump to. Pyro in this case, obviously. But yeah, this was a big thing for me. Really looking forward to being able to get to another system and do some kind of long-haul trucking. Yeah, I'm really feeling the long-haul trucking. Got myself a Hull C. We'll be doing some long distance trading. I may even do a short mini series called A Truck Driver Reviews. Yes, I don't know if you know this or not, but I used to be a truck driver. So yeah, so that's it. Yeah, that's my big takeaways from Citizencon. Oh, actually, the other really, really big thing that I'm looking forward to: persistence. Get to keep my shit that I bought. I keep my jacket, keep my money, keep my ships that I've rented. Oh yes, looking forward to that. Persistence, big thing. Woo! Yes, so cool. Thanks very much for watching. Let me know what your biggest takeaways from Citizencon this year were. Let me know if you love the Anvil Kerik, or whether you hate the Anvil Kerik. And thanks for watching.